Find your own voice, lead from within. With me today, I have Robin Snow and Claudia Passa. Robin, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Sure. So my name is Robin Snow. I'm the owner and director of Glow Yoga Kids here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So we teach kids yoga in schools and daycares. We do birthday parties and events, super fun stuff. I'm also an author of a couple of children's books, which combine education and literacy with movement. And as I mentioned, every single time I have a cat as well, and she will probably make an appearance at some point across my screen. So just look out for her.
Over to you, Claudia, please.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Claudia Prischer. I'm an intuitive energy healer and a theta healer as well. And I help my clients to identify the limiting beliefs so that we can find the core and the root of the limitation and to delete them, change them around into new empowering beliefs.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Hey, Grant.
Hello, Namsa. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much. Introduce yourself, please, to our audience.
Thank you. My name is Grant Morrell. I'm an international speaker, coach, trainer, and an international best-selling author. Over the last 19 years, myself and my international team have helped thousands of entrepreneurs, business owners, and organizations across 15 countries. We've helped them to increase their profits by up to 200% in just a few short months by working with their team, their systems, their mindset, and their strategy so that they can live a life of passion, purpose, and freedom and develop a business and a lifestyle that can be a legacy for generations to come. But these days, I'm very much focused on my vision, which is to build a global movement of 1 million leaders to help them to live life without limits by helping them to clearly communicate their message with the world. Thank you. I think you're muted there,
I'm
Namsa.
still muted. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Grant, Claudia, and Robin. So our topic today is how to supercharge your self-esteem. And basically, when true happiness is found in your life, you will never be disappointed, and self-esteem can actually affect your happiness. It can affect you living a fulfilling life, and sometimes the self-esteem begins from our childhood, at school, the friends we hang out with, our siblings, parents, and the list goes on. And I'm gonna let Claudia explain, because you chose this topic. We would like to know what is basically what motivated you to choose this topic, and what do you think our audience will achieve through this topic, please, Claudia.
Yes, sure. Well, I believe that these are like common themes we will be always working in our life on. It's in regards to self-worth and self-esteem and self-confidence. These are like a few really major topics, and they will always come up in life. So it's good to be reminded of them and how we can change them. And Nonza, as you already mentioned, one or two areas where we can get a low self-esteem. It's actually, yes, I did as well, write a few things down. It's being raised by parents who didn't give us enough emotional support and the acceptance as well. So that's basically what you said. And then as well, the criticism from parents, teachers, people at work, and partners too, when we get them and we believe them to be the truth. This is as well a way how we can develop low self-esteem. What I got as well, oh yeah, as a pupil, and you mentioned it as well in school, Nomsa, so basically when we get like poor grades, and then this can make us believe that we are dumb or not good enough, or just, just not worthy of it, and comparing us as well to others, and creating beliefs in regards to I will never succeed, which is just a story anyway. And as well like stressful life situations too, like going through a divorce or being made redundant. I got actually made redundant 2 years ago. I lost my job after 13 years, and actually, yes, not having this type of security, you can as well doubt in regards to you, your life, your ability, and your self-esteem. So absolutely stressful life situations, yeah. And obviously as well, unrealistic media standards, you know, like all the things we see on social media, the way we should look like and the body and everything, appearance. And this just can cause as well a bit of, low self-esteem. And then as well, the thing is as well, when we do mistakes and then not, then we believe that it was just wrong to do it. So, and usually as well, we get the shame, which goes along with coming and doing the mistake. And this can as well make us a bit doubting ourselves. What about Robin?
Yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts for kind of building confidence, I just think about my yoga classes, and obviously we teach all ages, so we do, you know, really, really young kids all the way to, you know, your teenager age. And I find that, well, number one, the teenagers are more obviously struggling with confidence. It's more of an obvious issue in a lot of teens that we work with. So we obviously do a lot of exercises and stuff to build confidence there. But it really, really starts when you're young. And one of the things that we kind of, our motto, I guess you could say, is success builds success. And so when we're planning our classes and sharing things with kids, we want to make sure, one, it's not too easy because they get bored, right? We don't want to make it too hard because they're going to lose their confidence and they're going to feel like, I can't do this. And, you know, this is a struggle, which is why I feel like as adults, programming for children needs to be so specifically catered to their age group so that we can really feel that success piece. Because the minute that they're successful, as an example, in like a tree pose, the minute that they feel successful in that, whether it be a modified version or a full version, they're going to be way more excited and way more willing to do more and to try more new things as well. So I find that anything that we're teaching, whether it be physical poses, emotional support, regardless, that we're doing it in a way that provides options to kids so that they can really feel that success piece. And then from there, it just keeps building and building and building. On top of that, one of the really super important things that I feel like makes a huge difference is not just getting them into a pose and finding success in the pose, but is also praising them on their try and their good job, using their name while also praising them. And on top of that, if you can praise them while using their name in front of their peers and their parents, it makes it so much more powerful and just continues to build that confidence even more. That's kind of my initial thoughts on this topic, is just like, from my experience, just building on what they feel really good about and what they already are doing so great at. And I feel like as an adult, I also feel that way, because if I feel like I'm not good at something, or I feel like something's really, really hard, I'm automatically going to be like, well, I'm terrible and I can't do anything. You know, it kind of goes into this little bit of a spiral, right? And so finding those things that you really enjoy, that you can feel really successful at, and then building on from there and trying harder things after that. Grant, do you have anything to add? Oh, I think you're muted, Grant. Nope.
Can you, what's up going on? It don't have a sound? Do you wanna go out and then come back? While Grant is coming back, trying to come back again, so I'm gonna I actually agree with you, both of you, Claudia and Robin, that Robin, you mentioned that children, when you are helping children with their self-esteem, you have to do it in a pace where they don't feel that it is too hard. Because if you put on too much too soon, the children will give up. And can you hear us now? No sound? I check your audio. Yeah, so if the children feel that basically they have too much to take on, they will give up. Basically, it has to be fun. Basically, if you are helping someone with their self-esteem, it has to be fun, and they have to do it in their own pace as well, because sometimes when you're trying to change things around, you might have bad days, you might have good days. So when you are having those bad days, so you have to make sure that if anyone is watching, if you are basically struggling with the self-esteem, it is okay to struggle, but you don't stay there. And if you're trying to build it up or to change things around, there's gonna be days where you're gonna feel like you don't want to do it, and it will be the time where you have to push yourself to do it. Because there is no magic pill either, anyone that can say I can help you within a day. It took me a very, very long time to be where I am today, and I never judge myself and anymore. But I used to feel that I wasn't enough. I would look at people. Actually, I've never compared with myself with anyone on social media. And I thank the Bible for that, because I read the Bible a lot. So I've never compared my life with anyone. I've always wanted to be myself, because when you compare your life with anybody else, that's where the self-esteem comes in, where you will feel that you're not worth it. But the truth is, we all have our destiny. Some people are married, some people are not. And we don't know what they have to do to be where they are. Some people have their own businesses, some people are working, they have promotion, and it's all to do with being able to tolerate what you can do. Some people get promotion because they're not afraid of doing the training. They're not afraid. They've got children. They will still go and do the training to upgrade, to help themselves grow. So when you look at someone's life, instead of asking their secret, what makes you where you are? What did you do? What did you change? That person can explain to you that I did this, instead of sitting there comparing your life with somebody else. There are actually parents that compare their children to other children, to some children, and that is not right. Because when you, as a child, you're born with your destiny, and for you to achieve that destiny, you require a mentor, you require a parent to mentor you, you require teachers like Claudia, you're a coach, Grant, you're a coach, and Robin, you're a coach. Basically, those, you're part of the family. A coach becomes part of the family. So if the parents don't do whatever it takes to help their children, then there's gonna be problems. There are some parents who basically help their children based on their dreams, and it destroys a child. For me, basically, I always let my children be, and whatever they can do to be where they need to be, I'm there to support them. And for myself as well, when it comes to confidence or self-esteem, if there's anything that I feel that I need some improvement, I'm not ashamed to ask for help, because that's where the problem is. Some people don't want to ask for help, but they expect changes in their lives. There's never gonna be a change if you do not ask for help. Ask for help. Find that coach, that one champion member of family or somebody else. Ask for help. Grant, are you talking now? Are you talking or still no sound? I have put sound on here. Okay, are you on your phone? Come on with your phone. Okay, try to come on. If you're on your laptop, try to come on with your phone, because or check the sound on your, because this side says you're okay. Claudia or Robin, do you want to take over while Grant is
Yes, I would like to add like two things to what Robin just said earlier. Let me just, okay, yeah. In regards as well, how to grow the self-esteem as well. Just like, yeah, try to do one thing as well that pushes you a bit like slightly out of your comfort zone, so that it doesn't matter as well if it's a big or, you know, it's a small thing, but like something where you can just feel about that you're learning, making a progress, and just like you're growing something as well. This is just like a little tip, and Robin mentioned it as well in regards to the kids to do some learnings as well. I picked up, and what Robin said as well to the compliments as well. I think you are, sorry, I've just had the dog here making some sounds, that you are praising the kids, you know, like obviously saying the name and so on. Absolutely. And how can we turn this around for the adults, for us, learning to accept compliments, you know, because so often we get a compliment and we feel like weird about it and we are actually not able to accept it. Yeah, it's just like, and this is as well something, a little tip to just like to say thank you next time someone says something nice or compliments us, and enjoy actually as well this positive energy coming towards us, just to say thank you. Yeah. Robin?
Yeah. I mean, totally. Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, flipping it to the adults is super important. I'm at it from a kid's lens, so it's always nice to hear kind of the perspective of someone who works with adults. It's nice to hear. I kind of go back, I guess, to the definition of confidence and what confidence means. And so, I mean, I know that a lot of people are like, okay, in order to be confident or feel confident, that it's like you're comfortable with yourself and kind of how you look and stuff like that, which is part of it for sure. But the biggest part for me, at least when I look at confidence, is feeling capable and feeling capable to kind of face life's many challenges. And I feel like that can come in really a lot of forms, whether it be physically or emotionally or mentally prepared for and capable of doing kind of the things that are coming up in your life, especially in the last couple of years with COVID and all of these crazy things that have been thrown at people. I feel like that building of confidence has been a real struggle. And for kids and for adults alike, just getting to a place where they feel like I'm capable of handling what's coming at me, because there's just so much all the time. And so I agree with what Claudia said, just kind of doing something to push yourself slightly outside of your comfort zone, and setting really manageable goals. So small manageable goals. So maybe like Claudia said, it's not something big, you just kind of have your next little step. And I think I saw a picture of this once where it was showing like two ladders, and one with like lots of rungs and one with really wide spaces, and how hard it was for someone to climb with these really wide spaces. And it just goes to show you that making smaller goals will lead you there quicker, will get you to that success faster, and in turn will build your confidence, right? I think on top of that, really coming to terms with who you are as a person, accepting yourself, not just the side that you show to everybody else, but also your shadow side as well, the things that you might not want people to know about, accepting that about yourself, using positive affirmations, living a healthy lifestyle, just being in general, kind of surrounding yourself with tools to help you continue building that confidence, I think is super, super important. Yeah, Nomsa, do you have something to add?
Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much. I actually I agree with both of you. Claudia, you mentioned that you have to accept a compliment, and compliment is a big problem when someone compliments you. Sometimes the people, I used to find it hard to actually say thank you, but now when someone gives me a compliment, I just have to make sure that I basically accept it, because I deserve it. I deserve it. Basically, let's say you go out and you're wearing nice clothes and somebody says, oh, you're looking good, and instead of me questioning, I just have to say thank you. And sometimes I let them know where I bought the dress, if it is the dress or if it is something else. I let them know in case, and they're like, if there is some nice things where they sell, I'm like, check it out, so you may like the things that they sell. And Robin, you talk about goals, writing goals. I think the problem that where people give up about finishing things is they they just want things to happen today. If they set up goals, things have to happen today, but life is not like that. You have to set up goals that in order for you to get to where you need to be, the goals that sometimes you might not feel like doing things, but you still do them because they are like small goals. And sometimes like when I speaking to my children, like if I go to parents evening, I always say to the teachers, can you basically evaluate their level where they are? If they need pushing, and push them, challenge them. They need to challenge themselves, because like my oldest one like an easy way out. Basically, if you let her stay there, she will stay there. But now because I always tell in front of her, the teachers in front of her, that she needs to challenge herself. Now she's learned that she's got to challenge herself. If she feels that there is something that she can do at school without us, she'll speak to the teachers and then let us know if the teachers agree for them to go ahead. Are you okay now, Grant? Or you're still the same? I told you to use your phone because the camera phone is better than laptop. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Use the phone. A camera phone is better than a laptop. I always have my phone charged. If I can't get through live with my laptop, with my desktop, I use my phone. The phone is actually better. Even if you go on YouTube, the broadcasters, they are basically say smartphone are better than the laptop. Yeah, so I agree with you, Robin, that you have to set goals. And when you do set goals that basically that are manageable, then you'll be able to every single day. And also journal your thoughts, because everything that we do is energy, and our thoughts bring the energy, and everything is energy. Thoughts, journal your thoughts every day. Have a day where you journal your thoughts. How do you think about yourself? How you communicate with yourself? And at the end of the day, just read those notes out loud, and you'll be shocked with what you find. So try to do that, because sometimes we talk ourselves out of our destination. So try to journal everything, and once you journal everything, you'll realize that, like myself, I don't talk myself out of things, negative things anymore. I used to be negative, but now when I do become negative, I do tell myself that, Nomsa, you are a liar, because you say you want to succeed, you want to do this, and now you're negative, talking you out of yourself, and I call myself a liar, and that means I'm never gonna do it again. If I call myself a liar, because if I say I I want to be successful, I want to lose weight, and then I'm start mourning now, I'm saying I can't do this, that means I'm lying to myself. So I have to be straightforward with myself. If I want to lose weight, or if I want to go on a diet, or if I want to do something, let's say if I challenge myself with the business, if I say I'm gonna do this for my business, I've got to do it. If I start doubting myself, that means I'm lying to myself. So I have to say out loud that Nomsa, you are a liar. And it does help, because I will feel embarrassed when I'm saying it that loud. I will feel embarrassed, and I will want to do the right thing for myself. That will take me to where I need to go. Over to you, Claudia. Grant, are you there?
Let's try with Grant. Yeah, Grant, it's the mobile. I had this as well in the past, Grant. I was logging in, but Nomsa could not hear me. And then on the mobile, it worked fine. And now I'm using a different laptop. Remember, Nomsa? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, so please the mobile, absolutely.
Can't hear you guys on my phone. Amazed that we.
Oh, no. What a shame.
Oh. Okay, because your phone is not. Check the audio. Check the audio on your phone. You have to allow Restream to use your audio on your phone. So switch it on. Go to the audio. Which phone are you using? Android or iPhone? If you are using Android, definitely you need to allow Restream to use your audio. Do you want to take over, Claudia or Robin?
Sure. I can say something in regards to self-esteem and as well confidence. I hear you, my phone. Okay.
That means it's your internet, Grant. Okay, if you can hear me on your phone, you need to switch off your laptop and then use the phone, only the phone. Why can't you speak on your phone? Speak on your phone. Okay, I need to bring you here. Allow me to bring you to Restream, to live. Because it's not allowing me to bring you here. Allow me to bring you to live. Hear you perfectly. Can you speak again, Grant? Hello? Can you speak? No typing. Speak again. I think I heard something. Why is it typing? Okay, Claudia, do you want to take over? Speak.
Sure. Well, in regards to self-esteem and self-confidence as well, which is very close by, I like to highlight that, for example, confident we don't always feel in all areas in our lives, sometimes because something is new to us, I'm, for example, I never wrote a book, and this is something I would not feel confident doing so. And something I feel confident is like giving sessions to my clients and coaching them, giving healing sessions. And even here at the beginning, when I started it, I had as well like low self-esteem, low confidence with the healing and the coaching back then. But it is just because I had to learn a new skill, right? So just like we have to understand this too, and then just allow us as well that we don't always have to perform and feel high self-esteem and confident in areas where we are just new at. Is it right, Robin? Does it make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree with you. I think when you're learning a new skill, it can be really hard to have that confidence immediately, right? So I do agree. I think it goes back to kind of what we were talking about. Like, you start the new skill, being kind to yourself in that process, and remembering that if you take it slow and you use those small steps to move forward, that it will slowly build your confidence in that as well. I like to always remember times where I did try a new thing and was then successful and felt confident in it eventually. And that helps to remind me that it is possible. And later, you know, I will feel more confident in this. It's just new. Because often I feel like we sometimes forget that we struggled before, that there's been that before. There's actually one of these guided visualizations that we use in our classes called You Can Do Anything. And the whole beginning part of this is remembering a time where you had to learn something that was really hard. So for kids, often it's like tying your shoes for the first time by yourself, or riding a bike by yourself, or what have you. And then after, imagining something that's really hard for you right now, like maybe it's learning something in school, or you're learning a new language or something like that. And remember how you succeeded before, and then literally imagine you succeeding now. Imagine how that's going to feel. Imagine the confidence that's going to come up from that. And I feel like even just using that visualization as an adult can be a really powerful tool to have that reminder, like, yes, you know, new things are hard. Once you get a handle of it, though, it's right. And it kind of brings in those manifestation powers as well. I was just going to make a quick note as well about the negative self-talk. Namsa, I love that calling yourself a liar works for you. But I feel like I was like, on a general scale, that kind of negative, you know, return like back to yourself and kind of making yourself feel a little bit embarrassed or ashamed when you're not doing so well can maybe be a little bit harmful for other people. That turning back in and being like, you're horrible, or you're a liar, or whatever, can really damage like our internal self-esteem. And so obviously what works for some people doesn't work for others. I just thought I'd make a quick note on really trying to build yourself up with those positive affirmations, so that when you're moving forward, you're not doing it because you feel ashamed and guilty. You're doing it because it's something that lights you up and inspires you to be better, right? I feel like, especially in the beginning, I definitely had a lot of very negative self-talk, and it would often be that way, like, you're not, you know, great at this, you're not perfect. And it would kind of like, it was almost like that tough love, like, get up and do it now because you have something to prove, right? And then it felt like it was coming from this place of like stress and anxiety. And it reminded me of like that my parents, that voice that was like, if you don't do this, you know, it's gonna be bad, or something like that. So kind of flipping around that negative self-talk to being more positive, so that you can kind of move forward and continue to build confidence in a positive way. I'm not sure if Grant is able to speak now. No.
You able to speak? Maybe allow the broadcasting. Can you check your audio? Have you checked your audio? You sure the volume is on? Okay. And what's happened to your phone? For me, basically, Robin, I call myself, when I say I'm gonna do something, if I make a decision and say I'm gonna do something, I call it as it is, because if I'm lying, that means I'm lying. There's no other else to describe it. If I say if I write down and something, and then I say today I'm going to do these goals, and I start talking myself out or start making excuses, that means when I pray, basically I pray in truth. I say the devil is a liar. So the devil comes to steal, to destroy, and to kill. So if I can tell the devil that exactly what he is, and if the Bible can say exactly what it is, for me, basically, it's not a negative talk, because that's who I am. I'm a Christian. As a Christian, I have to speak the truth to myself. If I say, let's say, if I need to build my self-esteem, then I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Or let's say, I need to pray to boost my confidence to do this. And if I'm start doing something else that and start doubting myself and start telling myself that I'm not enough, what gives me the right to tell me that I'm not enough? What is so special about the person that I think they are enough, that I'm not enough? So those are the things that I put across. I basically have to be honest with myself, and I have to look at Jesus's character, because he was criticized and he was killed for his character, and he was an honest man. And for me, I have to see the truth as it is. If I say I'm going to come at Ngozi talk shows and somebody writes something to criticize myself, to criticize me, if I believe that critiques and that critiques stops me broadcasting, that means that I'm lying to myself. The decision has to be whatever somebody sees in me, it does not mean that is true. Whatever negative self-talk that is being spoken to me, it does not mean that is true. If I believe it, that means that I'm a liar for the person that I say I am. If I say find your own voice at Ngozi talk shows, lead from within, I have to mean it. I have to walk it. I have to believe it. And if somebody comes here and tell me that Nomsa, your talk show is not enough, I have to tell them where the door is, because somebody else sees it enough. And if I believe it, that means everything that I'm saying, I'm lying to myself and I'm lying to my audience. That's who I am, because the Bible says, live in truth. God lives in truth. He lives in judgment. He lives in righteous. So I have to live that. That's how I evaluate myself, by looking at God's character and evaluating my character of who I am and who I'm becoming. If I don't feel okay through my self-esteem, and if I feel that I need some work, I don't have to lie. I have amazing coaches. You guys are here. I just have to pick somebody that can get me and say, Robin, like I have children. If I see that my child is not doing well in something, and I know that Robin is, she's a coach. If I don't seek for help, that means I'm lying to myself. So that's what kind of a person that I am. I love to tell myself things as they are, and telling myself things as they are. I've learned that from Paul McKenna, that if you tell things as they are, it will help you to become the person that you want to be. And let's say I ask you guys something advice, and if you tell me something that you believe that I want to hear and not giving me the right advice, that means that's not love. But if you love me that much, and you want me to improve, you want me to become the person that I am, you will tell me that, Nomsa, then it's up to me to receive it. How I receive it, Nomsa, that is crap. Or we can do it instead of crap, or just say, let's do it this way, try this way. And it's up to me to change or not to change. Grant, are you? Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Well, that's even more frustrating, because you know what? I have no idea why. Nothing new has happened. So
I thought I had you. That's why I kept saying speak, because you moved to somewhere, and I thought I had your voice a little bit, and then I kept saying keep talking.
Huh? You can't hear me now?
I can hear you, but earlier I did hear you a little bit like this. Well done, Grant.
Well, I have no idea why it's worked, because this was the one time when I changed nothing.
Sometimes it's the network. Sometimes it's the network.
Yeah, it must be. I have no idea why it's done. So, guys, sincere apologies. I have no idea. I tried literally everything to get it on.
You don't need to apologize. You don't need to apologize. Just get to the topic. You are showing us not to give up when we're doing something. So keep going.
So there we are. So yeah, what a fantastic subject that Claudia brought up here. And it is, of course, about your self-esteem, how to raise your self-esteem. And when I'm coaching my clients, one thing I do work on very much is what I call their self-concept. And I look at the self-concept comes from three key areas, and that is your self-image. When you look into the mirror, who do you see? Is it a successful person, an unsuccessful person, a person who's been put upon all your life, or someone who overcomes challenges? Who is it you see? That's your self-image. Your self-ideals. The self-ideals is very much the morals of people you look up to. Who do you aspire to be? I know, would it be Mother Teresa? Would it be the person down the road, your grandparents? Who is it you aspire to be? Where do you get your moral compass from? And then it is your self-esteem. What have people told you? Like Robin and Claudia and yourself, Nobs, have already said. What have people told you? Your environment. Because we are all products of our childhood trauma, and trauma is a huge word. It doesn't necessarily mean to say something cataclysmic has happened to you. But the trauma, something that's traumatized you as a kid, could have been that someone took away your football or something when you was a kid, or threw it at you and made fun of you. That could even traumatize a child. And unless recognized and dealt with, these things can manifest into adulthood. So your self-esteem, do you believe you can succeed? Or has someone said, you're stupid, you're wrong, you're short, you're too tall, you're too lanky, you're fat, you're thin, and all those terrible things that children say to you. These things, are you still believing it? Is this part of it still believing, or you'll never be able to do that? All this stuff that we've heard, all these things help to build your self-esteem, or in fact, they help to really deplete your self-esteem. If you look into the work of the late, great Alan Waters, he would talk about life.
Grant,
Yes.
hold on. There's a comment from I think it's not coming through here. It's coming through Facebook, but it's not showing on Restream. It's Margaret Tolley. Sorry, Margaret, we're not ignoring you. If you think that we're ignoring you, we were not ignoring you. I'm really sorry. When you comment from Unique Billionaire Mindset, the comment don't come through, but they show here. So that's why I'm able to see your comment. So thank you so much, and we appreciate you supporting us, and please keep writing your comment. Now I can see the comment because I've gone to my phone, but here on Restream it's not showing. So people are commenting on different channels, but they're not coming here. I think it's only if you're commenting from my Facebook, straight from our Facebook page and LinkedIn, or if the audience allows us to share their comment. So I'm really sorry for those who are not showing, but I'm just gonna keep an eye on your comment, guys, and I'll stop these guys and let them know that you're commenting. So continue, Grant. Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, three areas basically. You've got self-image, self-ideals, and self-esteem. And these three combined help to build your self-concept. So when I coach people, I coach them in building their self-concept on those three key areas. Why? Because I can talk to people about business and business strategy all day long. But those by itself will never ever do it. Those things on its own will never ever build someone's help. It would never really get them where they want to be, because their results will go up temporarily, and then they would do what I call yo-yo. They will go up and down. Because why? Because this has never been fixed. Because I said at the beginning, I help people with their team, their systems, their mindset, and their strategy. All four things to get them the results. The strategy on its own doesn't work. You could go and buy a book for that. And that's why it's not going to work until you fix this. And this is it. So once I work and build their self-image, their self-ideals, and their self-esteem, which combine to make their self-concept. Once the self-concept is high, the results will always follow. Never the other way around. Because if you do it the other way around and just work on the business, it will go up and it will come down, because things get in the way, and the thing that usually gets in the way is yourself. So we need to get yourself out of the way first. So self-esteem is a pivotal part of success. So it's a wonderful subject, a pivotal subject, and I'm so glad you picked it. And that's the way that I personally deal with it. What about you, Claudia? I mean, is this something that resonates with you, how these things come combined?
Yes, absolutely, Grant, especially how you just explained it in regards to the strategy and the mindset, because I think they say mindset is like up to 95 90% of success and the strategy only 5. I
Yeah,
heard
it
a lot.
varies around. It varies
Yeah.
around from about 80 to 95.
I've heard this.
Depending on, 'cause I mean, some people, you've got to understand, some people that their mindset is in a good position, they have worked on it. So for them, a lot of that will be handled.
Yeah.
But even if you've got it handled, it's a little bit like going to the gym. You go once and you may get the abs, you may get those in place, and you think it's good. That doesn't mean to say you can't go to the gym again, because you know what, they won't stay there. You have to work on them to keep
Yeah.
to top it up. So you could have your mindset in a great place, and then something happens. Something comes from the left field. Something happens in life. Some unfortunate news or something, and it has an effect on people. And of course, that's going to affect your performance at work and at home, etc. So yeah, it's a major part, because like one of the things I always talk about, Claudia, is that when people, they're always like, oh, there's a new program, I've got a new workshop, a new software, a new this. And the one thing they ignore is the most important software in the world, and that's the operating system that operates all these external things. It is yourself. You are the internal thing. Even artificial intelligence, guess what? It's programmed initially by human beings. No surprise there. But so there we go. So it's the one thing that most people they initially ignore, but in the end, it's the one thing they have to come back to fix, because it makes life so easy. Yeah, but absolutely great
Yeah.
point you raised there, Claudia.
Yeah, well, I think as well in regards to self-esteem and self-confidence, these are topics where we will be working on through life, just like, again, as you said, Grant, it's like going to the gym and training the muscle, it's not a one-off or so on. It's the process and different part of our lives. And then we need again to look at the self-esteem and the confidence in regards to where we are right now and so on. So absolutely. And what I do as well with my clients is I like them to understand where someone in their life told them something about their self-esteem and their confidence, that they're not good enough and they're not worthy. And we all have these situations somehow in our past as well. And I'm actually as well not a big fan any longer of the poor me, the victim story, because in the end as well, we can just make the switch pivoting around by deciding I'm fed up of the story I keep telling myself I believe about them told me or sold me in the past, but actually it's just like a lie. It's a story we believe for us, but it's not the highest truth. So just like as well, once the client really understands this and is so fed up with this negative self-talk and the low self-image, it can be very fast as well just to turn it around. It doesn't have to be a long process. Yeah. Therefore, as well, it's important to do like regularly self-development and self-work as well on you. You as the audience. And you can choose as well whatever it looks like, reading a good book or podcast or working with a mentor, a coach as well, just like investing in yourself. This is how I like to call it. Nomsa?
I think that's Robin.
Robin, yes. Robin.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with both of you. I feel like mindset is super, super important. I know a lot of the time in schools these days, the biggest thing that is discussed and something that we work with as well is the growth mindset of feeling that increase and also flipping around kind of the way that your brain normally talks, the negative self-talk into more positive phrases. So for example, saying I'm not good at this and replacing it with something like I'm not good at this yet, but I'm going to learn, right? And always kind of getting yourself ready for like what's to come, right? As opposed to the defeating attitude of like, this is too hard, or I'm afraid I'll make a mistake or something like that, and flipping it around to being like, with the right effort, with the right strategy, I can succeed, right? Or when I make a mistake, it's an opportunity for learning, and it means that I can get better from here, right? And so kind of flipping, I guess, or rewiring, I guess, the brain into a more positive way of thinking. And the more often that you notice that, hey, I've said something really negative to myself, like I give up or I can't do this, every time you notice that, making a conscious effort to rewire and flip the script into something more positive, or a feeling of increase and growth within yourself, I feel like you can really rewire the brain into being more confident as well. And so Grant, absolutely right. People often seek outside of themselves in order to kind of build that confidence, maybe looking from other people to tell them that you look good, or other people to tell them that they're doing a good job, or they're like, oh, the way to fix this would be, a new operating system, or whatever you were mentioning about computers, instead of truly looking inward and rewiring the brain in order to be more positive and in order to build that confidence. And I feel like a lot of people don't know where to start with that. And so for me, at least from the beginning, is just noticing, becoming more aware of your thoughts as they're coming into your mind, which goes back into what we talked about a few weeks ago about meditating and calming the mind and relaxing the body so that you can actually see when the thoughts are coming in. You almost become an observer of them. You sit on your seat and you watch the thoughts come in, and then you're able to switch them. Right. And then when you are zoned out and you're in autopilot, your brain's response will automatically be positive because of all of the training and the rewiring that you've done. So I feel like that's super important. Namsa, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, it is important actually rewiring your mind. Yeah. I agree with you, Robin and Grant as well, that you say we forget about everything, but the mind is the most important thing in our lives, because in our brain, because some people may be walking but dead, like a zombie. Uh, like Robin is saying, if you meditate, just use your beliefs, whatever beliefs you have, and use that to actually maintain your mindset, rewiring your mindset, because sometimes we end up having these beliefs that we have from our parents, from our childhood. For me, basically, my mom and my parents, my mom and my dad, and my step parents as well, they were people that they make sure that you live your own life, and you don't blame them when you're older. They knew that their job for them as parents is for them to help you build your confidence, to help you become the person that you want to become. Whatever happens after, they knew that they've done their job. But I looked at myself when I started comparing my life with other people, and I diagnosed it as there was something wrong in my brain, because I could see that my thinking was different. When I was growing up, I was like all about looking after myself and doing whatever is necessary to make sure that I'm looking after myself, and I do my own research, make my own decision. And when you become an adult, an adult child, and then like age of 18 or 19, you start copying other people, you start trying to fit in. If anyone is watching, please, if you turn that age of a teenager, don't try to fit in with other people. Listen to what Robin is saying and what Claudia is saying. Do you never compare your life with anybody else? If you are struggling with something, it's okay to struggle. We are not all born to be perfect in some things. We are not, but there's one thing that we have our beauty that is natural. We have our beauty within outer world and inner world that is natural. If you put on weight, you don't have to judge yourself and look at myself, I'm fat. The truth is, yes, I'm fat, I've put on weight, but why judging yourself? You can go and lose weight, but if you let yourself talk yourself out of where you need to be, then the mental health problems, and then you have to rewire your brain because you're producing chemicals of I'm not enough, I'm not this. So just you are enough for that moment. And whatever you want to do, whether it's business, like Grant was saying, stick to it. And that's why I like to call myself a liar. I stick to things. If I'm feeling stuck, honestly, if I'm feeling stuck, I stop. I just sit on the sofa that day. I don't do nothing. I stop. That's what I do. I don't try to push myself to be something, and then you end up getting stressed. If I feel like I'm overwhelmed, or like sometimes if I'm doing something, I just I just stop. So just do that. And if you feel that you're doing too much, or you don't feel too good, just ask for help. You shouldn't be ashamed of breaking the chains of I'm not enough. Don't be ashamed, or don't blame somebody who wasn't there when you were growing up. Some people, they blame their parents, and guess what? That's why that person wasn't there. Maybe God didn't want them to be there. He knew that they would destroy your destiny. So just be grateful for that person. If it's a father that wasn't there, or if it is a mother that wasn't there, but there must be somebody that has been there playing that role. Look at them and be grateful for them being there for you, and just keep doing what you love, what you do best, and keep learning. And don't let those who were not there to distract you. There is a reason why they were not there. And don't let anything else come into your life. And okay, messages from it seems to be yes, it's appearing, but there's, I think from other channels, other groups, I need to check how to allow the audience to bring their messages here. So that's what you need to do as a person. You just becoming who you want to become. I'm not going to sit on this chair and lie to yourself and say it's an easy thing. It requires, like what these guys are saying, rewiring everything. And it requires you honestly within yourself. You have to, in your inner world, you have to be honest. If you are unhappy, be honest that I am unhappy. But what do I need to do to change, to bring that fulfillment in my life? There are some things that you need to do. And you can watch the video, and don't do like what I did myself. Just use your own beliefs. And if the marriage is not working, look at your spouse, their character, their image. Look at yourself, your character and your image. Fix things based on you, not based what Nomsa did, because what Nomsa did, it might not work for you. And also what also you need to do. There are some things that I did that helped me a lot with my self-esteem. Like, let's say you go to Starbucks, and Starbucks serve you with the self-esteem and confidence. If Starbucks serves you with a cold coffee, if I can ask anybody here, people to say how many people who have drank cold coffee at Starbucks, just being afraid of confrontation, you'll see 1,000 people saying me, me, me. I was one of them as well. If they serve you with the food that is not cooked properly, you just call somebody and say, excuse me, politely, could you please and warm this, or could you please give me something proper, or can you give me a hot coffee? People don't do it, they just drink it. I used to drink it cold. Confrontation, I don't like confrontation. My confidence is not enough. I cannot call the waitress and say, please come and change. I wouldn't do that, but now I can do it. So over to you, Grant, or Robin, or
Well, I'll jump in if you can hear me, yeah? Okay,
yeah.
well, yeah, confrontation. I don't really like confrontation, I must admit. I don't really. I always, maybe this is why communication is my big thing, because I don't like confrontation. But I must admit, if my coffee was cold, I would politely just say, sorry, this coffee's a little bit cold. Could you reheat it? I would just say that because why not? You pay enough money for it, you expect it to be hot, unless you ask for otherwise. So, and I don't really find that would be an issue because they should be serving hot coffee. You don't need to complain about it. You just need to bring it to their attention and say, would you, again, would you mind warming this for me? And of course, the answer is going to be yes, of course. Sorry about that. But it is, again, self-esteem. I mean, some people are brought up in an environment where and it could be a cultural thing, whereas children are to be seen and not heard. So, and again, life is about balance, isn't it? Because there is a balance. You sometimes see children who speak out, I would maybe say a little bit too much. Where do you get that right balance? Because yes, if something needs to be said, yes, I should say it. But you see, we're all drug addicts. From a neurological point of view, we are all drug addicts because everything we do in our life, everything that gives us pleasure, everything that gives us pain is a drug. It is a chemical, a natural chemical developed by the body that goes to the mind. And it rewires. They're called neuropeptides. And what they do, they feed the brain and your brain starts to get rewired. You have these little receptacles that they go into. And sometimes they can go into the other receptacles. And if they keep going in, guess what? That gets rewired to it. Have you ever known someone who complains constantly? That's become a habit. They become a drug addict to that chemical. Because on some level, they're getting some high from complaining. They may feel some sense of power or something, which perhaps they haven't got elsewhere in their life. So maybe sometimes they think, how can I get this power? And they may do it by complaining. And when they do, they feel good because it's some area of their life they can control. And I'm not saying it's to make fun of these people. It's just that, it's a cry for help in many cases. And they do it. And they become addicted to that nice feeling. And it happens. You'll know yourself. You'll go out. You'll have a friend who's the first one to complain. Yes, if your coffee's cold, you should politely raise it. Hey, my coffee's cold. Would you mind reheating it? That's not a confrontation. That's okay. But some people, they're looking for a problem so that they can complain. This is what I'm talking about. Now, complaining is just one thing. We're all addicted to something. It could be fun, love, sex, chemicals, drugs, alcohol, humor. We're all addicted to something. But I guess the trick of it is to look at are your addictions, for whatever word, and I'm using this word in a modern parlance, if you're using it, where can you balance them out so that they become a healthy yourself? So when I look into personality profiling, we look into various personality types. And you notice, although everybody has a need, there's nothing wrong with it because you, I, all of us are going to have certain needs. If you haven't got one, you'll have another, guaranteed. There's nobody who doesn't have it. So there's none that are better or worse than others. But when you do it, we look at it, some people have a need and somebody else has the same need, but it just is a little bit ugly on some people and not ugly on others. Why is that? Well, we've explored this, we've looked at it. It fits well on some people because some people have kind of got it in balance. Yes, they still have the need, but it's balanced out. So it doesn't stand out, it doesn't pop in your face. I think it's a little bit like confidence. Confidence is an attractive thing. Arrogance, however, often isn't. Where does that balance come around? Yeah, it stands out too much with some people and not enough. And when it comes to confidence and self-esteem, much the same. There is a nice balance to be struck. Okay, you want to have self-esteem, but not the kind of like a very good leader will have a lot of self-esteem, but a really true great leader will know when there's a time to lead and a time to be a subordinate, and when to look at the rising talent among the lower echelons and to spot a talent and think this would be a great opportunity and to stand back and let that person take the lead. So a true leader will give rise to other leaders because they have enough self-esteem to say, I do not need to lead this. You know what? I will sit back and I want to develop somebody else to become another leader. That's true leadership, and that's a great sign that you have a really good balance of self-esteem. And that's just what I wanted to add. It's not just having it or not having it, it's then fine tuning it so you've got the right balance. I don't know if you've ever done this yourself. You're doing something, you're talking, you're making a point, and someone once said, it's not the things that we do badly that lets us down, but it's often doing too much of what we do well. And that was one of the best things I ever heard. If there's something you think of, something you're all good at, right? You're good at something, and when you do that thing that everybody knows you're good at, have you ever done too much of it? And you think, oh my God, as you're talking, maybe you're talking about your key subject, and you're talking, and suddenly while you're talking in your head, you'll think, oh my God, am I still talking about this? I've just gone a bit too far. That's what I'm talking about. It's when you just do too much of what you're good at. So it's just knowing about, yes, you need to have the self-esteem to do it. And once you get that self-esteem, then it's about fine-tuning it, just notching it up or notching it down to get it just right. Just like tuning in one of those old-fashioned radios, when it gets a little bit fuzzy like this, and then you just tune it in and it's crystal clear. That's the sweet spot. And I think when we can do that, we've got the balance just right. But in the absence of that, just have self-esteem, because it's a lovely thing to have. Not arrogance, but confidence, and that comes from self-esteem. Once you get it, fine-tune it, and life is wonderful. That's just the point which I wanted to add. Does Claudia, Robin, does that mean anything to you? Does it make sense? Have you seen people like this?
Well, yes, I would like as well to add something at the end in regards to self-confidence and self-esteem. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm a theta healer, and in theta healing we have something beautiful where we can change the beliefs, but as well download the clients with new feelings. And sometimes we don't know what something feels like because we might never have experienced this feeling in our life, or sometimes we had the feeling in the past and then something traumatic happened and then we blocked it out. So the feelings are important to have as well in our brain, and that's the beauty of theta healing, to download the clients as well with what it feels like to be confident and beautiful and successful, and the story goes so on. So that's my word at the end. Robin, something from you as well?
Hold on, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I agree with both of you. I think Grant, just speaking to what you said about those people in your life that are kind of the looking for a problem, those constant complainers, right? I feel like, or at least in my world, I call them energy suckers, because they truly, when you spend a lot of time with people that are like that, it can really zap your own energy. It can really pull out your own confidence as well. Like, I feel like just being around people that are constantly like that, right? It can get really intoxicating, I guess, in a similar way to, like you were talking about, like being a drug addict to the chemicals, right? In that, just kind of being around that kind of nature as well can really affect our own confidence also. And so I feel like, on top of what I had said before about really noticing the thoughts as they're coming into your brain, being aware of them and rewiring them into positivity, also being aware of the people that you're surrounding yourself with and making sure that they're aligning with your values and the things that make you who you are, right? Because I think someone said recently, like, the 5 main people that you hang out with is who you become. So if you're hanging out with 5 people that are energy zappers, suckers, that are negative, or complaining all the time, that's really going to become your talk as well, your inner talk, and it's going to reduce your confidence overall, especially if they're also using their negativity to treat you badly. Also, right on top of just themselves, if they're directing that at you as well, I think it can really, really affect your overall confidence. So yeah, making sure you're being aware of your thoughts, making sure you're being aware of who you're spending time with, and I feel like from there, just trying to be more positive in your life will really help to build the confidence. That's kind of my final word. Nomsa, do you have any last words to say?
I actually agree with you, Robin, with the negative people that draining your negative. I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was saying, I just feel that everywhere I go, I pick up people's energy. And I said to her, you need to actually maybe pray about it and just look at who you are surrounded with. So she was telling me about her friend. I said, if she's always been good to you, so that means there is something that is not right with her. Just try to support. Because sometimes there are some people that when they're going through something, instead of telling you what they're going through, they will never actually express it because they don't want to. We're talking about it yesterday that people don't want to basically tell you what they're going through because they feel that they are putting things on you. So if you are somebody who is watching and like what Robin was saying, instead of your energy bringing a bad energy, express what is going on, try to talk it out. And there are some people that are there to listen. Some people, they are there to listen to you without telling you what to do. Just try to talk it out and value that friendship as well. Because if Brand comes and goes to talk shows and he feels that he cannot express himself, he's going through something, he cannot tell us, that means we have not given him a room to be Grant. So just try to be there for people whenever you can, but don't get sucked into this energy where constantly people are just gonna be draining and you think you're playing nice and you think I'm loving. There's a difference between loving unconditional and letting people give you the things like you put their burden on you. They can give the burden to God. That's what God is for. And when they come to you, they can either speak to you, seek your help, or you or they can just get on with it. For me, basically, if I have a problem, I express it and I ask for help so I don't put my energy to somebody else. So that's all I can say. And also never ever compare your life with anybody else. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you don't feel like doing anything or you feel that your life is basically not going the way it should be and is causing self-esteem, you have Robin. She deals with kids. She's a yoga coach for kids. You have Claudia. She is a healer. She can help you with whatever, how it works or how she works. You can discuss it with her and she will explain how she works and how she can help you. You have Grant. Grant is basically he does is business coach. And are you a hypnotherapist as well, Grant? Yeah, he will explain
Yeah,
what he does because he
yeah,
basically
I'm a hip.
training business to be where they need to be, and us business owners as well to be image or how we represent ourselves as well. That's what he does. So you have all these coaches from all walks of life, and there are no excuses. And don't be ashamed of seeking help. If you can't afford them, contact them and speak to them. Might come to a arrangement, finances arrangements. Why not? So we are here to Grant. I'm gonna let you. Have you done your words of encouragement?
Yeah, I've done my words of encouragement, but yes, I'm a hypnotherapist also, and I'm a hypnotherapy trainer. So I train people to become a hypnotherapist as well. Yes.
Okay. So we are here to Ngozi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. And you YouTube subscribers, family, please subscribe to our channel. And God bless. Have a lovely weekend. Live with grace.